Hey, Skiba News Fate. No, man, blooper reel for sure, right there. Hey, Skiba News Nation family, welcome to
Get ready to
our
witness some savings
weekly live stream.
your credits electricity plan from Reliance.
Quite a start. Hold on.
Well, we are live, so I mean, things are bound to happen, right?
Hey, I think we got to give the people what they came for. Come on.
Yeah, the bloopers and everything. Hopefully,
Yep.
Charlie will come in here for you guys and everything. Sorry, when I do the hand gesture, it's nothing that is evil. It's my camera. So I know somebody will take that out of context. But yeah, man, what's up?
Hey. Nothing much. I was putting a big circus tent up today. So I was out in the sun, gotta drive some stakes in the ground. Whenever you put a tent up, you really realize how much good we have going for us, and the fact that our houses are made of bricks and wood, and we don't have to do that every single day. Right?
I didn't know you joined the circus. That's pretty awesome.
Well, every day is sometimes a circus when you're the father of multiple children. So we all know, that can be true sometimes.
Yeah, especially with my kitties. But yeah.
Hey, Opa, how are you doing?
I'm still upright, hanging in there.
Sounds great. I mean, same here.
Yeah, all right.
Upright and all right. All right.
All right.
Well, hey guys, don't forget, share the word about TruthOrCon. Things are coming together. Tickets just recently went on sale, and they're actually going pretty fast. So you might want to grab your ticket before where you won't be able to get them. But right now we have a really good price for people who are jumping on early, and make sure to check that out and check out this ad that shows you a little bit about what you can expect.
VIPs are going fast, so you guys, I would love to see you in VIP.
Something huge is coming. We're building the world's largest truther convention. It's called TruthOrCon.
This is the place where truthers unite to explore knowledge, ask tough questions, to challenge the mainstream narrative.
But it isn't just a convention. It's a movement for free thought, open discussion, and the right to question everything.
We are bringing in some of the biggest names of the truther community, so expect deep discussions, mind-blowing revelations, and connections with like-minded truth seekers.
If you feel like the truth is being hidden from you, this is where you need to be.
And the best part, it's 100% grassroots, built by truthers for truthers, straight from our Skiba News Nation family. TruthOrCon will be a massive networking event. I believe this is going to be the most exciting truther event ever.
October 2025 in Dallas, Texas. We hope to see you there.
So right there, tickets are available. TruthOrCon.com. I'm about to post a link in the live chat so you guys can go ahead and click it, and it's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait. It's a lot of planning, but
I can't wait either. It's going to be awesome, guys. Well, Jeremiah, what have you been up to?
Well, lately I've been doing a lot of stuff, but I went to the Oddities Expo in Dallas, Texas, just to see what was up. And I have friends that own an oddity shop in Dallas, and they always have the best stuff. Sorry, almost profanity there. But I saw two crazy things that I thought was very interesting. And I know, Tammy, if you watch this, if you're here, what's up? But she always asks me about the Oddfellows. And this photo right here is one of the oldest tapestries from the Oddfellows. That's very hard to get your hands on these kind of things. And I thought it was really interesting because it looked like the words, you can't really see it, at the bottom is like, I don't know, Latin. But then I saw this other one, and it was Skull and Bones. And I said, they were trying to explain to me what Skull and Bones was. And I was like, oh, I know what that is. George W. Bush, you know. And I thought that was super interesting that they had that. And they said these come up so rarely that it's they pay like good good money for them. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. That's weird, but that's cool. I mean, I think it's interesting to see, because if we don't learn about these kind of things, we'll never fully understand them. So it's always important to see what we have to fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Some things, are better left in the dark, if you know what I mean. But it's good to be educated, and it's funny because that reminds me of like I don't know, it was like Jack Sparrow's coin or whatever on that thing, and it's like they put these symbols in the movies we watch and get us desensitized to it, but these secret societies, their symbology is just the first level. You have to understand what the symbols mean to see what they're trying to put across and communicate to each other.
Yep. And then also, after we went to the Oddities Festival, me and my wife, every time we go do something, we have to film something for Skiba News Nation, because that's just, she's awesome like that, and I'm awesome well, she's mainly more awesome, but she was like, let's go to downtown, let's walk a mile and go to Dealey Plaza, because you could film a TrutherCon ad there. So we filmed a TrutherCon ad, and it's not done yet, but I also got some crazy footage that I wanted to share with you guys. You mind if I play that?
Let's hit it.
Let's watch it. Look what they did at the word allegedly.
Look how much people.
Yeah, it is. He didn't do.
Allegedly shot and killed.
That's what I've been saying forever, even before the documents came out.
Hey, you gotta send. Hey, I had to pause this because you have to send that to Owen Benjamin, because that's a hilarious, like, Owen Benjaminism is the allegedly thing, and I wonder how many bears have gone there and were like, allegedly.
I think it's all the citizens of Dallas. I mean, we're just awoke now. Like, there are so many people that were there that were like, I don't believe the story. Like, I was talking to people like on the street, and it was so fun. And I actually passed out some TrutherCon cards because they were like so excited about, that we're finally learning the truth. And so, I mean, it could be some bears, it could be some Skiba News Nations. I don't know what we call it, Skiba News Nation family, but man, when I saw that, it made me laugh so hard, because everybody knows the truth.
Hey man, you have to take that line, Lee Harvey Oswald allegedly, with allegedly scratched out, and like turn it into a t-shirt. And
oh yeah, I could do that.
Oh, that would be a great.
Do the whole Texas, the little whatever those are called, the historical landmarks, and then have it just like that.
Zoomed in, so people can read the allegedly scratched in. And, oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah, you guys let me know if you guys would want a t-shirt like that. So here's the rest of it.
Allegedly. Yeah, lone gun in my behind. There's a photo that's going around where Lee Harvey Oswald was literally right here the day. I'll pull up that photo, but he was literally standing right here.
There he is.
Whoever it was that looked a lot like Oswald, so.
That's the evidence. There's the gun right outside.
If that was moments after Kennedy was assassinated, then how is that a possibility? And this is the place, if we walk over here, this is where H.W. Bush was walking with the tramps. It's like walking history. You're walking history.
There's H.W.
He was standing about right here like this. I know where the gunman was. Shooter was in the storm drain right here. I was here that day. Did you know that? I'm a time traveler. Couldn't get that X right there. That was the first shot, I think. That's the next shot.
So that was the shot where he went like
right
this.
In the neck. And then right down here is where the champagne.
I didn't know that the mic.
To my knowledge, Abraham Zapruder was standing on one of these two pillars right here. The one who took that famous footage.
That's Abraham Zapruder's spot.
The Zapruder footage. Hey guys, I'm here at Dealey Plaza, the grassy knoll, where on one of these pillars right here, Abraham Zapruder forever changed history. And he filmed the biggest event that ever were to happen. He was standing somewhere here. Hey, look at the angle from right here, because Zapruder was either there or here. You can tell it is the Zapruder film. Like, we're at this angle. It's crazy. Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
So look at that shot. She's about to pan Lindsay because she's filming. This is the shot that Zapruder, the famous footage that everybody's seen, has seen a million times, but today.
All the way from down there. It's all the way from right here. So this is about where Abraham Zapruder was. Should we put some TruthOrCon stickers somewhere? We hope to see you guys there. So I think one good spot that I should put one is where I know that the fatal shot came from, due to my research and actually, you know, looking at the facts like we conspiracy theorists do, or us truthers do. So I don't get how from that window up there you get a back into the left shot. That's pretty insane.
How does that happen?
But we should believe all the facts. We should believe everything they tell us.
So I time-lapse this a little bit.
I was going to say, that car was going pretty fast.
I'm walking pretty fast. I could be a speed walker.
Yep.
So I put a sticker on there. So if any of you guys are in Dallas, send us a photo and we'll share it on our social media.
That's where he was. That's where the fatal shooter was. Right in that storm drain. It's the only way to get it back into the left shot. Do you really believe that right up there was a shooter that killed Kennedy right there? No. You think a back into the left shot could have came from up there? No thank you. I don't agree with that. I think it came from right where you're standing, right below you. That's the only way a downward trajectory could come. And let's be real, people. The only way his head could have gone back and to the left is from that storm drain right there. The trajectory of the bullet, that's the only way. It couldn't come from up there. It had to come from right there. And that's the kind of stuff we're going to be learning at TruthOrCon 2025. So make sure that you're here in Dallas, Texas. We hope to see you there.
So that's my excuse my music that is because the way that she was filming and panned up, I just thought it was so funny, so I had to put some music to it and have it, you know. But yeah, I mean, look at the grassy knoll. If you're there, it's like above. I just don't understand how, if he's like this, how does your head do this if the shooter's coming down? It has to come from a downward, down to upward. You know what I mean? Nothing else makes sense to me.
So you guys gonna do a field trip for TruthOrCon and go out and lick the the pavement?
Maybe. Well, what I was originally thinking, I don't know if this is gonna happen. So this is just between us here in the live chat. But I was thinking about like renting like one of those buses and like all the VIP get on the bus and we go to Dealey Plaza because I mean, why not? It's always open. I mean, you could just walk right up there. Do our own tour. We could do the Lee Harvey Oswald tour everywhere he went that day to prove that he didn't do it. In my opinion, allegedly.
So after the documents were released, did you guys get anything from the document release at all? Like supposedly,
it's funny. My Uber driver on the way back, because we Ubered there and Ubered back because there was a Comic-Con going on too. But the Uber driver, I guess he thought that he's a truther too. So what's up, Daniel? I think that's what his name is. He said he'd check out the show, but he was telling us that, wait, what was your question? This is why it's live.
Honestly, I've forgotten myself.
Well, the guy was telling me about all this crazy stuff about, or not crazy. I mean, it could have a lot of legitimacy, but he told me that there was to look into the mayor of Dallas at that time. It all happened in Texas for a reason. And yeah, man, the documents. That's what you said. Have we learned anything about the documents? I mean, we've learned that that Oswald was a patsy. And we learned that he knew a lot of three-letter agency people, and they were handling him, you know? So a lot of that's come out, and, I'm dyslexic, so I can't read it, but I just do it based on what other professional readers tell me.
It's very interesting, and I think one of our interviews that kind of ties into this whole topic is the interview with Tom O'Neill. And if you guys are watching this and you've not seen that yet, you should for sure go and watch that, because it's all about kind of the inner workings of government conspiracy and secret agencies and three-letter agencies working against the American people in subtle kind of manipulative ways. But yeah, man. Hey, I had a question. Are you coming up to visit us for Hebrew Fest coming up in a few months?
I just might. I just might.
I wanted
Depending on
to
when the day is.
Yeah, I wanted to show a picture of my buddies who live just down the road from me, and they're performing. And it's like a little promo, and it looks like this. And I made that music video I showed last live stream with these guys, and this is just like the dates for Hebrew Fest. So it's the 3rd of July, 2025, and yeah, man. I think last time it was awesome. That's where we first met Bryson Gray. And I wanted to say something for our live audience, just for a thank you for being here. You guys know that I happen to be one of the biggest Bryson Gray fans. And you know how I have proof, Jeremiah?
You got the... I'll let you say it.
I have the very first hand-signed vinyl record of Bryson Gray's album.
And I can authenticate. I can authenticate and say that is legit. I saw it happen. So,
in the future, when Bryson Gray becomes one of the biggest Bible rappers of all time because he invented the category, then, I'll have that on my wall, because there ain't no way I'm selling it unless, for nothing less than like $1 million. But, when the crypto phase kicks in and $1 million is only worth like $100 today, I still won't sell it to you because it's really cool. So
it is really cool, and it's cool that we've gotten to know him. And like those shorts that we were posting, he actually commented and was like, "I need this," so we just sent them all to him. So you might see some stuff of ours on his channel, which I think is pretty awesome. So
sweet, bro. Well, you guys want to look at some current news and discuss some stuff that I've been watching very closely recently?
Yep, absolutely.
Sweet. Okay, so at any time, if you guys want to make a comment, feel free to mute it and jump in over top. It's a long video, a lot of different things that I've been checking out, and hopefully this week it's easier to see for our audience. I've really zoomed it in a little bit more. So, all right, guys.
Is officially done with the Department of Government Efficiency.
So we're starting with this topic of Elon has exited Doge, and he's stepping away from his direct involvement in government.
Is now no longer a special government employee. His aggressive cost-cutting at Doge, though, has left a big impact.
Doge has created just an enormous amount of backlash.
Doge dismantled entire agencies, canceled billions of dollars in contracts, and helped the White House fire thousands of federal workers.
It was like the worst day of my entire federal career.
The agency has also...
It's my long-lost relative in the government.
Doge's wall of savings has been highly unreliable, riddled with numerous errors.
So, what did Musk and Doge actually accomplish? And what's next for the agency without Musk?
Elon Musk!
During the election, Musk said Doge could save...
We can do at least $2 trillion. Yeah!
By March, Musk reduced that projection.
Our goal is to reduce the deficit by $1 trillion.
The numbers that they initially threw out seemed really far-fetched.
Romina Bocha studies federal budget and spending at the Libertarian...
Notice her name is CIA at the end.
That kind of spending,
Yeah.
Doge would have
Good eye. Good eye.
major and popular entitlement programs like Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security, and those programs had already been taken off the table by President Trump.
By the end of May, Doge claimed to have saved a much smaller number, $175 billion. Its wall of receipts claimed $32 billion was saved from more than 10,000 contract terminations and $40 billion from more than 15,000 grant terminations. In February,
Wait, the guy's name was something Grant, And then they talked about grant terminations. Oh man, bro, I think
you're owed some money.
Bro,
They've been using your name.
using my name. That is
Federal government is actually saving.
Doge's contract and grant terminations add up to about $72 billion, but that still leaves more than $100 billion from other areas, with an untold number saved from, quote, workforce reductions. A Doge spokesperson didn't respond to emails requesting comment.
You can tell it's a hit piece when they include those little segments, because it's like a little elbow jab. It's like, they didn't respond to our jabbing finger. You know, it's like,
Yeah, it's funny because Elon took the heat instead of Trump this time at the beginning.
yeah.
Like normally they're just bashing Trump, and now they're bashing Elon. So he kind of felt what it was like to feel. But he's autistic, so he doesn't feel that, which is pretty awesome.
The
It's our
first
superpower.
employees fired
Yeah.
agencies were probationary employees.
The Office of Personnel Management made a decision for all agencies to fire all probationary employees in the federal government because they considered them to be temporary employees.
Jeffrey Grant oversaw a department of 600 workers, which ran healthcare.gov, the Affordable Care Act website.
Did you guys know that Ulysses S. Grant, the president, made Christmas legal when he was president? Like, he's associated with reversing what the Puritans had established back in the early days of the United States, where they had made Christmas illegal, and he was involved in actually reversing that during his presidency. So, you know, today I'm a Christmas tree burner myself, but you know, it's not that I don't come from I guess all of our forefathers have their sins, if you know what I mean, Jeremiah.
Right.
He also got a speeding ticket.
2016. She also heads a union that represents nearly 3,000 department employees.
Our workforce, our members receive
Oh yeah,
emails.
so this lady basically got
One of the
fired.
biggest
All right.
proponents of Doge in the Trump administration is the director of Office of Management and Budget, Russ Vought.
We intend
this is
to
guy
take
taking
the
over
Doge,
after Elon, basically.
agenda and the cuts and the momentum and the initiative and turn
Vought.
those into permanent savings.
Now that Musk is moving off to the side, we expect Vought will play an even more central
Vought.
role, ensuring that the cuts that Doge has identified become
Some say potato,
codified
some
into
say
law.
tomato.
Russ
You know.
Vought has long had a goal of significantly downsizing the
Vote.
federal government and has also been the power behind the throne. when
Don't
it comes
forget to
Doge.
vote.
As head of OMB, Russ Vought sent Congress a budget
Well, there was a company called Chance Vought.
$163 billion in non-defense spending cuts.
The guy's
or
name was Chance
22.6%
Vought.
of
He
current
built
year
airplanes.
spending.
The 163 billion which they identified is very similar to the roughly 107.
So somebody made a comment here that I just wanted to point out. I think it's so funny. All of these politicians that are sitting up and acting surprised that Doge found all this stuff are so full of it, man. You're telling me you guys have worked in that industry for decades and you're going to go, oh, look how terrible what Doge has found is. It's just awful. Oh my
I
goodness.
had no idea.
I had no idea. Okay, brush those cookie crumbs off quickly. You know, it's like, oh man. Yeah, that's right. They're all, yep. Well, I mean, everybody's a liar in a way. You know, it's good to tell the truth, but these people do it more and they do it for a living.
And now they have a reason to be scared.
All right. Let's turn
I know the White House is to be there for a couple days every few weeks, and to be helpful where I can be helpful.
The impact of Doge's cuts are still playing out across the country.
Doge is now part of every federal agency. They have brought people into every one of these federal agencies with a budget cutting mindset. They are people who are really true to the cause of Doge. If the public sees fewer services, if they see real bottlenecks in their ability to access Social Security, for example, all of that will affect the way the public views Doge in the months ahead.
By the way, I say doggy.
This little video is funny. It's pretty interesting. You'll see what it's about here.
So something we have here,
Thank you.
a very special, that I give to very special people.
He got the key to the White House, which is pretty interesting. So
I give it to Elon as a
Look at that.
presentation from our country.
wouldn't you like a key to the White House, Jeremiah?
Well, I'm going to be at the White House in a couple months, and I'd like to say I was invited.
Did you hear the story about the black eye? Allegedly, his son punched him, is what he told everyone.
Yeah, or one of his girlfriend wives.
That's the funnier answer, right? And then the worst case scenario, it was some Illuminati puppet lord, but it's probably just his son, like he said. But who knows?
Hey, me for president. I'm for that.
Thank you, President Trump. You've spoken very passionately.
Oh yeah, so
how God saved your life.
I purposely shared that first liberal coverage of Elon setting down from Doge because I wanted to compare and contrast to this other liberal hit piece that has taken Trump's words and he, every time he said I'm the chosen one or I believe in God, like they made it sound so ominous. And so I think it's going to be funny to watch the difference between like how liberal media covers Trump and how he's being presented in conservative media. And we're going to see some like live footage later where, it's
less than 20% of
That's why context matters.
It's always at the end of the speech, not at the beginning of the speech. And it's always on the left side, not the right side. And yet, for some reason, I called it. It's not on a teleprompter. I do things largely without a teleprompter, frankly, because it's hard to hold an audience if you're going to go for an hour and a half or 2 hours reading a script. And I just talked about it, and I moved to my right, turned sharply to my right, ping. And if I didn't do that, I'm not here with you. So, yeah, God has something to do with it. It's a miracle, and God had something to do with it. And maybe it's we want to save the world. This world is going down. This world is going down. So it
Trump
could be.
going
But I
to
believe
save
that.
the
I
world.
believe that my sons are very good shooters. They're like scratch golfers, better, relatively speaking, with shooters, great shooters. And Eric and Don both told me from 130 yards. I said, well, that's pretty far away, isn't it? They said, no, that's like a 1-foot putt with, weapons like the one being used. Plus, he was a good shooter. This guy was a good shooter. He went to the range and shot a lot, and he was supposed to be a pretty good shooter. They said a bad shooter would
Looks like
hit
a loser
the
to me.
target almost 100% of the time. So something happened. And I have to say the Secret Service sniper did an amazing job.
None of us knows exactly when our time on Earth will be over. You never know.
I find it interesting that he
The
doesn't
truth I
badmouth the
confronted
Secret Service.
a few
They're
short months
supposed to
ago.
protect him, man. So they're always
Yeah.
around them. So you
There was
can't
an
badmouth the
incident
people that
that
watch you
wasn't-
while you sleep.
It was not fun,
Well, he did in
It was not a
DEI,
good
which makes
thing.
sense after that day.
but God was watching me. The chances of me being here, my sons are shooters. They're really good shooters, Don and Eric.
It really makes me mad when people
and they
say that it
said
was
the
fake.
chances of missing from that range with that gun.
Because I watched it live.
Yeah, man. It's phew. Okay. So check this out. There's a reason I think that you're having so much rhetoric, painting him in this way. So for one, he genuinely could be grateful that he didn't get his head blown off, and I think that's got to be taken into consideration. But man, it's just so funny how they paint him as dangerous by CNN compiles the moments where he's like, I believe in God. And they're like, this shows that he's dangerous. It's so funny, like how far their polarization has gone against conservative values. But then the question comes in, right? Does Trump believe he is the chosen one? I don't know. Maybe
the chosen one to be the president right now.
Greenland, there were times when he sounded messianic and sometimes just a mess. Taking his questionable
I remember when
to
this
new
clip
height,
came
President
out
Trump
a
talked
months
about
ago.
himself in biblical terms. At one point, looking to the sky as he praised his handling of the economy as godlike.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. So I'm taking on China. I'm taking on China on trade. And you know what? We're winning.
The president stirred up more outrage, repeating his belief that Jewish Americans face a loyalty test.
It's funny,
in the
Jim
upcoming
Acosta, the guy
election.
that's reporting, doesn't have a job
Israel
anymore.
love him like he's the king of Israel.
Yeah, you can see how things have turned around since they got into office and flipped the script, so to speak.
Moving the embassy to Jerusalem, making Jerusalem the capital of Israel.
Mr. Trump shifted once again on the topic of tightening background checks after sources told CNN he all but assured NRA President Wayne LaPierre he was siding with the powerful gun lobby.
Oh, I have an appetite for background checks. We're going to be doing background checks. We're working with Democrats. We're working with Republicans. We already have very strong background checks, but we're going to be filling in some of the loopholes.
Let me tell you something.
Power the AI revolution.
Under construction.
Okay, so I'm skipping ahead here to this next clip.
God.
You're God.
I'm a God. I'm not the God. I don't think.
You ask me if I have a God complex? Let me tell you something. I am God.
Okay, so next clip up, we have the AI revolution, and this is what's being built in Texas, in Abilene, Texas, right now, Jeremiah. And you're not going to woods, man.
Put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future. A new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure.
The data centers are actually under construction. The first of them are under construction in Texas, the Abilene location, which is our first location.
Abilene is a town on the western central plains of Texas. We
Used to play baseball there.
scratch and fight for everything good that comes our way.
I had people reaching out and they said, well, is the president going to come see you? And I said, well, he hasn't texted me yet. So
I'm thrilled we get to do this in the United States of America. I think this will be the most important project of this era.
Welcome to Abilene, Texas. This is the site of Project Stargate, a very mysterious, much talked about, much speculated about project that brings together OpenAI, SoftBank, Oracle. If it all comes together, building after building on this red dirt behind me will be.
So this is what they're doing with the $500 billion that was announced at the start of Trump's term.
Structure building.
Right, they ain't nothing
It's
in
going to create
Abilene.
new ways of doing business. It's going to create new ways of invention, and it's going to really drive humanity forward.
I was in the real estate business. These buildings, these are big, beautiful buildings. They're going to employ a lot of people.
How do you personally grapple with the pace of it all?
It does feel like it's going very fast. I certainly think if I could transport myself back 3 years ago, it would seem like unimaginable progress.
This is amazing, explosive growth of intelligence that's coming in our decade.
Explosive.
Everything will change.
When Stargate was first announced, there was a lot of skepticism. A lot of people thought it's just too big to be true. So this is your very first look. Hello.
Hey, Emily.
Thank you so much for having us.
Welcome to Abilene.
It's so awesome to be here.
Yeah.
It's all happening.
I know.
How many people are on this site?
Today we have about 2,200 people on site.
The guy at the heart of the Stargate build in Abilene is Chase Lockmiller. He's the founder of Crusoe, the little-known data center startup overseeing this massive project.
We started construction here last June of 2024. This was just a complete barren field.
So
right?
there was nothing here in June?
There were a bunch of mesquite trees and bushes and brush.
Stargate is so mysterious. What actually is happening here?
What will eventually be here is 8 separate buildings, all containing very large clusters of fully interconnected GPUs.
Yep.
We're going to do a tour of some of that. This is going to get us around the whole 1,200-acre campus.
Hey, we're going on an adventure.
It's like getting around Jurassic Park.
I love that.
All right, let's go off-roading.
I feel like we're going on a data center safari.
It is much like a data center safari.
Crusoe's 8 planned buildings will hold up to 400,000 chips, which would make this one of the world's largest known compute clusters. The partners behind Stargate, OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank, have committed $100 billion to the project so far, and claim they're prepared to put in 5 times that as they expand to multiple sites. This first site in Abilene has been dubbed Project Ludicrous, as in...
Ludicrous speed! Ludicrous speed.
Which is appropriate. The whole thing is supposed to be done by mid-2026.
Are you round the clock, 24 hours a day?
We're round the clock. It is very much a 24/7 operation. We're trying to deliver on, the fastest schedule that a 100 megawatt or greater data center's ever been built.
So why the ludicrous rush? Well, because Stargate is part of a much larger AI race. Companies
There's no reason we won't scale up our computing 100,000.
What's up, man?
I said your mic was off.
Yeah, I realized that. I was gonna say, isn't it?
And then my mic was off. What the heck?
Live. That's what you guys get when you tune into our broadcast Sunday nights. So I was just gonna say that's why Elon had to step down from Doge so he could invest time in AI development.
Oh yeah.
Times in a few years.
I'm good for my 80 billion. I'm going to spend $80 billion building out Azure.
The downside of being behind is that you're out of position for like the most important technology for the next 10 to 15 years.
But beyond just making better AI, many tech leaders want to be the first to create AGI, artificial general intelligence, a super smart agent that can think and learn just like a human, if not better. Large language models like ChatGPT have gotten more capable as the technology's evolved, so the hope is that adding an astronomical amount of compute will make them even more capable.
Take me back to the beginning before Stargate. What did you start seeing that made you realize we need more compute, more power, more connectivity, that you were hitting a limit and needed to scale?
We used to think a lot about the compute we would need to train the models. And what we didn't used to think about as much as how much people were going to use these models. I mean, we did think about it. It just turned out people want to use the models much more than we imagined. And a couple of years ago, maybe after the launch of GPT-4 in ChatGPT, it really started to hit like, oh man, this is like gone from a lot of compute to like the biggest infrastructure project in history. And out of that emerged Stargate.
Why call it Stargate?
It began as a code name, and sometimes code names stick.
But it means something, right?
The design of one of the very early layouts of a data center looked a little bit like Stargate from the show.
How did you get to talking with Masayoshi Son and Larry Ellison?
AGI coming soon, and we need compute.
Of all the bets you could make, why this? How did you get?
So I wanted to stop it here and show you guys. They have several things that are nods to sci-fi pop culture, and I wondered if Opa caught some of them. But for one, they give this callback to Stargate SG-1, the sci-fi series. I remember watching it when I was younger with my grandfather. Very interesting that they were to associate that show and this. So that's where they got the name Stargate, right? And then even the it's just so interesting how they're using all these pop culture references of old sci-fi shows to brand their real cutting edge sci-fi.
Why does he sound like Kennedy?
To talking with Masayoshi Son and Larry Ellison, and how did you all come together?
I did 2 kind of long trips around the world.
A lot of labor from outside the city and outside the state. We actually have workers from 7 different states. I've never built anything of this scale. It's one of the underappreciated aspects of AI is actually just the physical infrastructure that's needed.
This is awesome. I love it.
Building stuff.
Yes.
There's 155 vehicles that are moving dirt, moving earth right now.
There's something so satisfying about seeing lots of.
So just think of the size of the facility that they're housing these AI data centers in. It's amazing. So
This is actually happening around the world. Data centers are being built in Malaysia and Japan and France.
I think the demand for compute infrastructure, it's not a US phenomenon, it is a global phenomenon. A lot of countries have actually decided that data centers are critical infrastructure that must be accelerated.
So if hyperscalers are going to Malaysia or Japan, is that competition for you?
We don't really see it as competition. We kind of see it as just an overall growth of the sector. We think we have a lot of unique ways of doing it and a lot of value to add in the process, but pretty just excited by everything happening in the space.
Lockmiller's path to leading the Stargate build has been circuitous. He's climbed 5 of the so-called 7 summits, the tallest mountain on each continent, and worked in physics and finance.
Oh, so that's what it takes to get a job working for Sam Altman and the U.S. government building AI buildings.
Big early adopters of deep learning, using these multi-layer neural networks to predict returns for certain securities. We found them to be fairly effective. I had high conviction that AI was going to transform everything. It sort
Yes, we are live.
always felt like this meta science.
Welcome.
Lockmiller eventually left finance to get into crypto. Not in the get-rich-quick hyping meme coins way, but in the hundreds of computers solving math problems way. His idea was to build Bitcoin mining operations near oil rigs, taking advantage of a quirk in the
This
oil
is
drilling
very
process.
fascinating.
When an oil company drills for oil, one of the associated byproducts of that is natural gas. And when they don't have access to a pipeline, all of this associated gas is just being burned off on site. And so we had this concept that instead of trying to bring that gas to a market where you can sell it, we could bring a market to the gas. We could build these mobile and modular data centers and bring them directly to the wellhead and then use that power to power the data center.
It was a good idea, with unfortunate timing.
The crypto market crashed. You then went from Bitcoin mining to AI. It almost sounds like going from one hype cycle to another.
Yeah, it may seem like that from the outside, but I'll say that from very early on, we had planned to build an AI infrastructure business.
So what do Bitcoin mining and AI data centers have in common?
Number one, they both consume a tremendous amount of energy. Number two, they're both more location agnostic than traditional data centers. Northern Virginia is largely perceived to be sort of the center of the world for data centers today.
That's data center 1.0, right?
That's data center 1.0.
Virginia's Data Center Alley is where the first generation of cloud computing was built, close to the government agencies that created the original internet. Those data centers are full of CPUs, basic computer chips that power everyday things like social media, streaming, and the cloud. Stargate, on the other hand, is part of a new era of data centers full of GPUs, the special advanced chips needed to power AI and do lots of tasks at once.
So this is the inside of a data center.
This is the inside of a data center under construction.
Okay.
They're going to be...
Very active construction.
It is a very active construction site.
So you can take them through one of these.
Okay,
And then
yeah,
here's
yeah.
the hallway.
Okay.
People look like they were working very hard and fast.
People never love when I show up for data center business. No,
Why?
it's not my area of expertise, and yet I have opinions. And so people are like, okay, leave us alone.
So we are going to go to one of the GPU data halls where there will be a very large cluster of Blackwell GPUs.
Blackwell is the newest AI-optimized chip from NVIDIA. Once the 8 buildings of Project Ludicrous are complete, each of them will hold up to 50.
There you go, Project Ludicrous. Did you hear that? Ludicrous speed.
Luda.
This is where the GPUs will go.
This is where the Keep going. I've been waiting for this.
This is where the AI factory will be.
All right. This is what an AI factory looks like.
And it truly is like a factory, but
in terms of the amount of infrastructure required to support this workload. And so that has become the major bottleneck.
So AI data centers can't be located just anywhere. You need a location with lots of available power.
Lots of
The
power.
AI performed it.
And that's how we eventually land in the Matrix, where the robots need humans to power themselves, and then we're back to square one. Man.
Yeah, but watching those AI videos last week that you were sharing, it really kind of messed me up because I was like, Lindsay was telling me that it takes so much power to run AI. And when you played those clips, I was like, people, like, it's so real. It is so real that I almost feel like I'm in a simulation, you know, and maybe that's how they want you to feel, you know?
Yeah, just wait till they integrate like visual HUD display in our lenses. Like we just put a contact in or we have it in our glasses, and everywhere we look, it can generate like AI reality right in front of us. You know, it's just
it's crazy.
What is coming around the corner of the future? Who can tell? So this is a really interesting video here. I thought it was, yeah, you guys are going to like it. Check this out.
11,000 English nouns dropped in usage by more than 80%. Between October 2023 and February 2024, the theory is whatever powers that be and AI, they are purposely making words disappear. It's functional vocabulary. And so some of the examples that they gave were terms connected to boundary setting, identity, and memory recall. And once a word falls below 2% of network visibility, it triggers the vanishing word protocol. Reclassify it, downrank it, replace it, not delete it, just less shown, less spoken, until one day you reach for a word like integrity and it's no longer in your mouth or your feed or in your memory.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, but what I found interesting was in the book 1984 by George Orwell, explored the concept of eliminating words through the invention of newspeak, the official language of the totalitarian regime. Orwell's big idea was by eliminating words, you eliminate concepts. No words for freedom, then freedom itself becomes a foreign, even unthinkable idea.
Oh my gosh, this is what I've been saying. The ability to be literate and articulate yourself opens the door for anything. You could do anything or be anyone.
Yeah.
Words are everything.
Yeah.
This is so scary.
So AI is deleting words. That's so crazy, man. And
well, it sounds like the Mandela effect, kind of. Like you think something and then they just, man, it's making my brain hurt. Like he said, like Miguel said.
Yeah, guys, it's just crazy how we're seeing AI quickly advance, and it's definitely impacting the world. But this next thing I wanted to show is Trump. Trump still is offering major new deal to Canada if they become a United States 51st state.
That's awesome.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious that's still on the table. You know, if they want to be under our golden dome. Another thing I wanted to share with you guys is the interesting Sahara dust movement that's coming up all over the U.S. this week. So if you go outside in the dust storm and take a deep breath, you can be breathing the very ground that somebody in Africa walked on. And so I just wanted everybody to know that that was possible.
Yeah, my father-in-law was telling me about that last night when we were at dinner, and I was like, what? That sounds crazy, but I guess it's happening.
Also, by the way, since we're watching this live, tonight and into the evening, and also I think maybe tomorrow early in the morning, people can go outside and see the auroras down all the way to Alabama's latitude. So if you have clear skies tonight, you should definitely try to go and see the aurora. Like, that's crazy low latitude US wise. But I'm going to definitely go out and look up in the skies tonight. Check out this next video, which is about a cult in the 1800s. Yeah, that's true, Nemo. Words do mean things, and that's why they're trying to delete them, which is pretty crazy, kind of freaky. 1984. Check this out.
What is that? Okay, so this dude, Cyrus Teed, he was from Chicago, but he was this inventor.
Cyrus Teet.
Really bad one time by one of his inventions. Oh no. And when this happened, he said that he had a vision. And in this vision, God appeared to him, but God was a female and male, but primarily female, and told him that he was the new Messiah and we live inside a hollow earth. And then he woke up, started his movement. He wanted to be called Koresh, which is Hebrew for Cyrus. But in 1894,
I've heard that name
he moved
before.
to Estero, Florida, and
That's why I
basically
thought it
just
was so
started building
interesting.
this compound. They
Maybe
taught that
the
Earth is
OG
hollow and we live inside
Koresh was
a
this guy.
sphere. So they think that what we see, the sun, moon, and stars, that's just like it's inside.
I could ask
the
the
sphere already.
survivors
But he thought that
if they know
Estero,
why.
Florida was going to be the new Jerusalem, but he ended up getting beat up by the local marshal there and dying. And his followers went and laid him in the bathtub because they said he will rise from the dead in 3 days, because that's what he told us. And they left him in there
Oh my
for
gosh.
way too long. And he never.
I just got chills, man,
That looks
because
like a crop circle design.
Mm.
Be like the base of a pyramid too.
So you know why Koresh was able to get the property under, like, why people started following him is because he said that he could raise the dead like that, and people believed him. And forget why he said it didn't work, but I mean there's a lot of eerie similarities.
Yeah, it's really interesting just how it all connects, man.
Yeah.
Well, check out this next clip. Let's see here. So this is the official meeting where Elon announces him stepping down from Doge. And I wanted to compare and contrast this to our first story that was the liberal coverage of this same thing. And this is just, of course, them doing their news conference. But Trump is getting used to turning his computer around or willing in a TV and just playing videos for people, which is extremely entertaining if you think about it. He did it with the South African leaders, and he's doing it here.
Give credit where credit is due. I also income
Play our videos, Mr. President.
I also thought everybody was going to get one last order of imports that were going to be tariffed, and they were loading up on things. How the hell they already fix the trade, or not fix it, but to cut it in half? That's crazy. So there wasn't a lot of front loading of things that they needed before the tariffs hit? Yeah, I'll tell you what, it really does call into question some of the conventional wisdoms. And, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next month when we get this number, or we see some of the other numbers.
Do you guys feel like we're doing videoception yet?
The trade deficit cut in half in 1 month.
You're watching a video of us watching a video of Donald Trump watching a video.
How did we get one of our videos in front of them?
Here, so it's great. You guys want to stand over here? You
X.
might as well. You're the ones that help produce those numbers, and it'll only get better. The tariffs are so important, and that's why we were so happy with the decision yesterday, where the tariffs continue, because without the tariffs, our nation would be imperiled. We would really be imperiled. I think I can say that with great surety, Howard. And so we were very happy to get that decision, that big decision yesterday. And today it's about a man named Elon, and he's one of the greatest business leaders and innovators the world has ever produced. He stepped forward to put his very great talents into the service of our nation, and we appreciate it. And I just want to say that Elon has worked tirelessly helping lead the most sweeping and consequential government reform program in generations. And the kinds of things that he's found and his people have found. He's brought a group of very smart people in, and they found things that are pretty unbelievable. I have to say that the numbers that we're talking about are substantial, but they're going to be very much more substantial with time, because many of the things that we're working on right now, we're going to have to remember Elon as we find them, but the numbers could double and triple, because many things, we don't want to go out with them until we're sure, but we've found things that are unbelievably stupid and unbelievably bad. With the Department of Government Efficiency, Elon's delivered a colossal change in the old ways of doing business in Washington. Doge has installed geniuses with an engineering mindset and unbelievably talented people in computers. I actually asked Elon one time, what's their primary thing? And they have a lot of primary things, all having to do with being smart. But he said the thing that they're really the best at is working with computers so that they can't be outsmarted by somebody that's not so honest, that happens to also be good with computers, but not as good as these people. But the mindset in the senior ranks of every federal department, and it's really changed. And with Elon's guidance, they're helping to detect fraud, slash waste, and modernize broken and outdated systems. So as you know, we're talking about various systems and changing systems. And sadly, it takes a long time to do that. You'll change, let's say, a system at IRS and computerize it properly, where the job can be done in 1/10 the time, but it takes sometimes years to rebuild those systems. But we've started, in many cases, I will say that this has less to do with Elon, but the air traffic control systems, we're bidding out to the best companies in the world, those systems right now. They were what the previous administration was horrible what they did. They spent billions and billions of dollars, and in the end, it didn't even come close to working. They tried to hook up wire to copper, and it can't be done. And they just spent billions of dollars and just wasted money. Actually made the system much worse. So we're going to get a brand new modern system. Congress is working with us on that, and we're going to get it done as quickly as we can. But it's in the works, and once it's done, it'll be good for 30 years. But we have a system that's 48 years old and would have a modern computer hooked into a very outdated computer, and they don't hook up. I mean, they didn't hook up. So after spending billions of dollars, they turned on the system, and in never any cases, from local to countrywide, they never worked. More than 75,000 bureaucrats have voluntarily left their taxpayer-funded jobs to come out and really do the job. Countless wasteful and unnecessary contracts have been terminated, and you know that we have terminated many, many contracts, and many contracts, Elon, are right now being looked at, and it may be 6 months, it may be almost a year in some cases. We're going through procedures, we're going through courts, and we'll remember you as we announce billions of dollars of extra waste, fraud, and abuse. Just as an example, Doge canceled $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education, $101 million, and that was just a small section of the Department of Education. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City, and the landlord never made the kind of money that he made in the last short period of time. $59 million to a hotel in New York City. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. Does anyone know about Burma? $42 million for social and behavioral change in Uganda. $40 million to improve the social and
Uganda.
inclusion
I love how
of
I said that.
sedentary migrants. I can say it's $2 billion to Stacey Abrams and her environmental movement. There was $100 in the account, and all of a sudden they found $2 billion in the account. And I assume that's being looked at. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I assume that's being looked at. Think of that, $2 billion. And then Lee will tell you there's another one over there for $20 billion being spent on another environmental cause. $20 billion, not 20 million, a lot, not 200,000, which is a lot. So think of it, in her case, you have $100, and now all of a sudden she gets hit with an infusion of $2 billion just before I take office.
You know, I thought that Trump did show our stuff. You want me to play it?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, let me see if I can find it here.
I wasn't done with it yet, but we can still play it.
You don't mind? Numbers have just come out which are rather extraordinary, and I thought I'd play a tape of one of the people who I've respected over the years. This just came out, and we'll just play that for a second.
Hey Skiba News Nation family, this upcoming episode, episode 121, we'll be talking about China's driverless trucks, the future or red flag. AI versus reality, people can't tell what's real anymore. Agenda 2030, the global plan they don't want you questioning. Nephilim genetics, ancient bloodlines being brought back to life. Immortality, scientists claim they can make humans live forever. What could possibly go wrong? An all new Opus Corner, and this week for History's Mysteries,
Look at his head
we'll be talking
movements.
about the Ernest Hemingway controversy, his mysterious life, misunderstood legacy, and why the context matters. An all new Please Excuse My Sense of Humor, memes, and much more, so subscribe and stay tuned.
Not bad. Not bad.
Come on, guys.
I wasn't quite done with it, but I hope you guys like that.
I love it. All right, let's finish this video off. Here's a video of a girl riding a pig to school. Check this out.
Well, we can't eat them, but we can ride them.
True that. Did you guys see that Loretta Swit passed away?
I don't know who that is.
From MASH?
MASH. She was the nurse.
She served mashed potatoes. I made that up. I don't know.
Yeah. Ronan Torah said for that pig clip, they should have used War Pigs, that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching MASH a lot growing up. It was like one of those lazy afternoon TV shows. Check this article out. Apparently, Canadian schools removed all books published before 2008. So,
hey, all my dad's books are still good then.
Part of a school board policy to ensure books in school libraries are equitable and inclusive. So they need our golden dome to protect them from their feelings.
Yeah.
Towards history, apparently.
Yep.
Who knew that 1984, the whole agenda behind that was just some people trying to censor unequitable speech. That's what leads to the Truth Squad? Okay, right. Well, I thought you'd get a kick out of this. This is a Brazilian nun going viral for beatboxing on Catholic TV.
Ooh.
And then the priest, he gets up and starts awkwardly dancing with her. Like, what are they doing in that monastery, y'all? Like,
I don't think we want to know.
What was the Jack Black movie?
He looks like Neo. Yeah.
Jeremiah, what was the Jack Black movie?
Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's on beat at least. She's doing good. The guy doesn't do so well. He's totally off tempo.
They need one of those robots that we talked about last week. They're way better dancers.
What if they are robots, Jeremiah? What if this is how far it's come?
I heard reports this morning that Joe Biden was one.
What if they're not real?
What, robots?
No, the video. What if they're not real?
What if everything we're watching is AI generated?
Dude, that's what Lindsay was saying last night. She every time I show her something on the phone, she says, that's not real. And then I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's not real. That person has 8 fingers.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm not real.
This next clip goes along with this comment. Ronan Torah said, "You're burning that good incense with the Most High." Well, speaking of that, Moses would know above anybody what it was actually like, and this is how he looked coming down from Mount Sinai after seeing the Israelites partying. Whoa! He definitely had too much of that good incense. Oh, man. All right, last clip. Found out what Jesus does on vacation. Check this out. I want to do this so bad. That looks awesome. It's like walking on water. That's so sweet, man. It's like surfing without actually having to go surfing.
Looks fun, but I feel like I wouldn't, I would just fall. I tried going water skiing once. It did not end well. Face plant every time.
Sweet. Well, that's all the clips for this week, guys.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you again next Sunday at 7 p.m. We'll see you Friday at 4:44 p.m. because we have a very special interview with a classical learner who is has homeschool curriculum, and it's in the description. But if you use our code Skiba, you can actually get a very good discount, 20% off. So check that out below. And yeah, do you wanna play the Truth or Con? Lead us out.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say this next interview coming up, this coming Friday, is going to be amazing. Classical Learner has a really amazing way of introducing hard conspiracy concepts about the way our world's controlled and how thought and intellect and education are controlled. And he breaks it down in a way that you can teach your children. And what I've learned as a parent is that when you teach your children, you end up learning as well. So, for all the adults out there that might want to understand how the world works and how to think logically and teach your children something of the same, then definitely check out the interview coming up this Friday.
Yep.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Adios, amigos.
Huge is coming. We're building the world's largest truther convention. It's called TrutherCon.
This is the place where truthers unite to explore knowledge, ask tough questions, to challenge the mainstream narrative.
But it isn't just a convention. It's a movement for free thought, open discussion, and the right to question everything.
We are bringing in some of the biggest names of the truther community, so expect deep discussions, mind-blowing revelations, and connections with like-minded truth seekers.
If you feel like the truth is being hidden from you, this is where you need to be.
And the best part, it's 100% grassroots, built by truthers for truthers, straight from our Skiba News Nation family. TrutherCon will be a massive networking event. I believe this is going to be the most exciting truther event ever.
October 2025 in Dallas, Texas. We hope to see you there.